Thank God for the privilege of being here today to be a part of the discussion. Mitch has said a lot about the things that we have seen over the years about what's really going on in the streets. And so one of the things that really pushed me out of my bed every day as it relates to the work that we do is the possibility of doing more prevention. A lot of things we're doing now is intervention. We're coming in and you have Pastor Mingo and the team out. They're doing intervention. They're trying to improve the situation. We need to spend more time trying to prevent the situation. And when you start trying to prevent situations, it takes a different mindset and a different spirit, because you're trying to catch somebody before they're being exposed to something that is prevalent in their community, which means that you have to catch them before they get on the street or before they become actively involved in what we know to be the norm. I learned something very valuable probably a year ago, that people like us are now unconventional. We are the people who are trying to find the good in what is happening in our country. And there are more people who are willing to settle for what is. And that means that I'm not satisfied, but I don't think that I can do anything about it. So I embrace the norm, or I embrace violence as a norm. And when you embrace violence as a norm, to be very honest, you're just as bad as the person that's perpetrating the crime. Because not saying anything or doing anything gives that attitude and that spirit life. And what we've been trying to do is really change the attitude and the spirit of the people. It bothers me when there's not enough resources and enough money to do what our community outreach team is doing. We can't find money to do that kind of work, but we can find money to do a whole lot of other things. The preventive work is the greatest asset that we have if we're really going to deal with gun violence. Whether we come up against the NRA, whether we deal with political wheels, whatever the situation may be, as people who are really committed to doing this work, it's going to take a different mindset. It's going to take unconventional thinking to really approach it and address it in a way where we continuously keep it on people's minds and, more importantly, on people's hearts. We do a class in 3 schools now, in Rothenburg, in Winton Hills, and we're moving to, we've done one in Rockdale. And our work has been with children ages, I would say 3rd, 4th grade, maybe now to the 5th grade. And the first 3 questions we ask are, how many of you have lost a family member to gun violence? 100% participation. How many of you have ever been exposed to guns at 3rd, 4th, 5th grade? 100% participation. How many of you know somebody that owns a gun? 100% participation. 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. So our work, we're already behind the scenes, behind the 8 ball, because in the 3rd grade, if you've already been exposed to one of the 3, that means that somehow or another, you may or may not become a part of the process, a part of the if I use this word, of the spirit that is working in your neighborhood. So we have a lot of work to do. And as Mitch just said, it pulls on the heart on a daily basis. It pulls on the heart. So I got the same text that he had this morning, that there was a homicide at 10:30 this morning, a potential homicide. I don't know if it became a homicide.
Not yet.
Okay.
He was rushed to
life-threatening
hospital.
Okay.
Life-threatening. He was shot 4 times at least.
This morning. And so while we were, doing, the things that we do, going to work or reading or participating in very positive conversations, somebody is now out there, fighting for their lives as a result of whatever the case may be. But when you think about what Pastor Mingo and his team do, if we get a call every time somebody's shot, I know they do, every time somebody's shot. So what I did was, I put a ring on my phone that tells me it's the police department to inform me that somebody's been shot. To the point now where my sons, who are 10 and 14, say, Dad, somebody's been shot. They hear that ring more often than they hear any other ring on my telephone. And they're not anywhere near the violence, but because I get the call, now they're just as involved at 10 and 14 as I am, because it's connected to my life and they're connected to my life. Does that make sense? That's the life that we live. So whether you're on the intervention side or the prevention side, fighting gun violence or approaching gun violence or dealing with it is a serious issue. And it requires a whole lot of serious people. And I'm praying every day that those that are serious about it will stand with us in whatever capacity you can. Whether it be prayer walks that Mitch talked about, whether it be distributing cards, whether it be raising conversations or having conversations like this, there's a need for more people to be engaged and involved. So I no longer say stopping gun violence. I have really come to the point where we're just trying to reduce gun violence, because that to me is something that we can achieve. Stopping it means that we have to go to heaven and back, because there are so many people out there that have their hands in it, and we don't have the resources to fight them on every level. But for the work that we do in the communities right there on Ridgeway and other communities all over the city where we have our community outreach workers, they have a greater chance of reducing gun violence than stopping it, because of relationships and because God has just truly blessed them with insight to be able to communicate and to relate to the individuals that are perpetrating these crimes. So I invite you to be a part of it, but I just encourage all of us to stay on the wall, stay engaged, stay actively involved, keep the conversations going. If you know situations of people who are interested in having conversations, let us know so that we can get out and share the same information with them. So.
Ennis, can you talk a little bit more about the Phoenix Project, how it works specifically, and how the community outreach workers work, and how people can get involved?
I can't, but I'll turn that over to Mitch, because I'm a